This is why I got an attitude about the story, because somebody else's moment was hijacked. When you woke up in the morning, when all of us woke up in the morning, the story was not how great Verzuz was. The story was not, ooh, that was a Verzuz for the history books. The story was not, Verzuz was so good. The story is Tamar Braxton, Cash Money No Limit Verzuz. That, I think that did a disservice to the whole thing. Hijacked somebody else's, and I'm not implying that it was intentional. Somebody else's moment was hijacked. The next morning, none of the stories related to Verzuz should have had anything to do with the Tamar Braxton.
Before we dive in, what if everything you thought you knew about Tamar Braxton, Toni, and Birdman was completely upside down? The truth behind the Braxton sisters' drama is messier than the internet wants you to believe, and the receipts are about to shock you. Don't blink, because you're not going to want to miss a single moment of this. So, what exactly is it about Birdman that has everyone losing their minds? Kimora Lee's daughters are calling him Uncle Birdman, Kesha Cole ended up throwing hands over him, and now Toni and Tamar are locked in a battle over who claimed him first. The sisterly drama has been non-stop, with Tamar catching major shade for allegedly getting involved with Birdman. But here's the twist. It turns out it was Toni who first crossed a line with Tamar. Surprising, right? This time, she's not about to let anyone label her friend a homewrecker. She's backed it up with receipts, proving that Tamar didn't steal her man. On the contrary, Tamar was in the picture with Birdman before Toni even showed up, and yet, she still tried to be supportive through the chaos. The real question is this the truth, or just more gossip swirling around? Fans have been shading Tamar for her closeness with Birdman, watching her fuss over him like she's his partner while Toni, the so-called real wife, stayed home. Now, the tables might be turning, and the story is way messier than anyone realized.
Tamar, girl, why are you wiping the sweat off of Birdman's head like that, sis? Now, as a married woman, I think I can grab the mic real quick and speak on this, because even though it may, like, she may be innocently doing it, girl, no, you don't do that. Like, the man's been performing on stage all this time, and he don't need you wiping the sweat off his head. Now, I'm hoping it was just like a gesture, but girl, y'all are all performers. Like,
She was moving up and down behind Birdman like she owned the place, treating him like he was her husband. At one point, she even wiped the sweat from his brow with a grin, as if he were hers too. Naturally, people thought it was strange and called her out. Tamar tried to defend herself, saying she was just showing support for her sister. She even posted a video of a call with Birdman and Toni to prove there was nothing shady going on. But fans weren't buying it. There's a big difference between supporting someone and practically wrapping yourself around them, and Tamar was walking that fine line. Things nearly exploded when Tanda dropped the bomb that Tamar had been involved with Birdman behind Toni's back. The drama escalated when Tamar fired back, trying to shame Tanda by reminding everyone she helped cover her down payment on a house. "Do I know where you live?" Tamar taunted. "Well, of course you don't. I know because I put down your down payment. Beautiful." And she didn't stop there. Tamar accused Tawanda of secretly using her credit cards for years without permission. Honestly, it wasn't surprising given Tanda's past. There were whispers about her taking their mother's social security checks and even allegedly pocketing money from Toni. The family drama was messy, tangled, and proving that in this clan, receipts are just as explosive as words.
Do I know where you live?
Well, of course you don't come. So
Exactly.
my
So
thing,
how would I
I know
give
where
it
you
to 'em?
live because I put down your down payment.
Beautiful.
And you've been stealing from me for the past couple years.
Tawanda has always had a reputation for being sneaky, clever, and crafty, and her recent bankruptcy filings only add fuel to the fire. The documents show she owes nearly $500,000, including a $35,000 loan from Tamar that went toward the down payment on her house. So, Tamar's claims that Tawanda has a habit of taking advantage of her sisters actually have some backing. There's a clear pattern. Tawanda allegedly helping herself to family resources, expecting zero pushback. You know exactly what you're doing. Tamar said, calling her out. "Don't act innocent. You're a snake, and you love controversy. Why would you do that?" But Tawanda wasn't about to let Tamar have the last word. She fired back, exposing Tamar for sneaking around with her sister's men. The accusations flew fast and furious. "You've been using my credit cards for years," Tawanda accused. "I don't steal anything." Tamar shot back. "You stole men," Tawanda said bluntly. "Tony's men. You slept with them a few times." From Tamar's reaction, it was obvious she was blindsided. But the one who looked genuinely shocked? Toni Braxton. "Toni Braxton, Toni Braxton, she never had your back," Tamar said, insisting she wanted it on the record. Tawanda had clearly been sitting on this information, waiting for the right moment to drop it. And judging by Trina's reaction, she already knew, but didn't intervene. The secrecy was wild, especially considering this wasn't just about one man. Tawanda claimed Tamar had been involved with 2 of Tony's exes. Unsurprisingly, the internet went into full-on detective mode. Rumors surfaced that Tamar wasn't just involved with Birdman, she was also allegedly connected to Carrie Lewis from Mint Condition. According to old blogs, this goes back to 2011, with whispers that Tamar targeted Tony's ex-husband to climb social and career ladders. Interestingly, some reports suggested Toni was involved with Vince first before passing him to Tamar. This isn't new territory for Tamar. She's faced backlash before over relationships with high-profile men, like Michael Malden. So, when you piece it all together, her alleged involvement with her sister's exes isn't far-fetched, especially if she thought it would advance her career. And Birdman? Their familiarity likely explains why she was so close to him at the Verzuz battle, wiping his sweat and making sure he stayed hydrated. But here's the kicker. According to DaBrat, Tamar and Birdman's connection goes way back, around 2003, before Toni even set her up with Vince. DaBrat confirms that Toni's relationship with Birdman came much later. In other words, Tamar was involved with him first and has simply remained supportive, even after Toni married Birdman.
Tawanda, baby, I love her to pieces. But hide your stuff when she come over, because she snatched the wig off your head when you look the other way. She's super sneaky, clever, and crafty.
Fans who tried to paint Tamar as out-of-pocket clearly don't know the whole story. The reality is, Tamar has always been one of the family's most loyal supporters, even if she doesn't always get the recognition she deserves. Over the years, she's consistently hyped up her sisters in ways that aren't flashy, but are undeniably meaningful. A perfect example of this was when she and her son dressed as Toni and Birdman for Halloween. At first glance, it might have seemed like a playful costume idea, but if you understand the layers, it speaks volumes about Tamar's commitment to family and her ability to bridge gaps, even in complicated situations. This wasn't a one-off moment of generosity or a random act of fun. It was consistent with the way Tamar has approached her role within the Braxton family for years. She has often been the glue holding things together, quietly stepping in where she feels others have fallen short, or when the situation called for her unique blend of boldness and diplomacy. This isn't a new pattern, it's just Tamar being Tamar. She's outspoken, unapologetically herself, and fiercely loyal. At times, that combination has created misunderstandings, but it's important to separate the rumors and the clickbait headlines from the reality. Tamar has been wrongly accused of overstepping boundaries, yet the truth often tells a much different story. The drama surrounding her family is messy, complex, and multi-layered, and the internet only amplifies the chaos. With every new post, tweet, or blog article, the narrative shifts slightly, leaving fans scrambling to figure out what actually happened versus what's being spun. Social media thrives on these stories, and Tamar has long been a target of both criticism and praise, sometimes simultaneously, simply because she's visible, vocal, and unapologetically herself. And then there's the issue of celebrity men and the double standards at play. A lot of these men get a free pass. They're praised for being players or smooth operators, yet the reality is that many of them are getting played just as much, if not more, than the women who are involved with them. Society tends to romanticize their exploits, celebrating their charm and charisma while rarely holding them accountable for the emotional and sometimes financial fallout they leave behind. Tamar, in contrast, has been the one quietly managing not just her own career and finances, but also contributing to the Braxton household in ways that rarely get mentioned. She's often the stabilizing force, ensuring bills are paid, responsibilities are met, and the family stays afloat financially and emotionally. Yet, when controversies arise, she's frequently painted as the instigator, while men in similar positions face far less scrutiny. It's a frustrating dynamic and one that highlights deep-seated gender biases in both celebrity culture and social commentary. Tamar has been criticized for being assertive, ambitious, or even protective of her family, yet these same qualities in men are often labeled as leadership, charm, or savvy. The hypocrisy is glaring. Tamar has had to navigate not just personal challenges, but also the lens of public opinion that scrutinizes her every move while excusing others' missteps. In this context, her ability to remain poised, supportive, and strategic is even more impressive. Meanwhile, Toni, Tamar's sister, seems to benefit from a different set of rules entirely. While Tamar's actions are dissected again, and endlessly debated, Toni often receives a pass from fans, critics, and even family members. This disparity in treatment speaks volumes about the dynamics within both the Braxton family and celebrity culture at large. Tamar has repeatedly had to shoulder the weight of expectations while also defending herself from unfair attacks, and yet she continues to support her family, sometimes at her own expense. This support is not performative, it's practical, consistent, and meaningful. Tamar is the one who keeps the household functioning behind the scenes, often without acknowledgement or recognition. What makes Tamar's role even more remarkable is that she does it while simultaneously managing her own career, public image, and personal life. She has navigated multiple relationships, professional commitments, and public controversies, all while staying connected to her family and trying to maintain a sense of normalcy. In many ways, she has become a master at balancing these conflicting responsibilities, a skill that is often overlooked amid the sensational headlines and viral gossip. Fans might see the drama, the confrontations, and the heated social media posts, but they don't always see the strategic thinking, foresight, and emotional intelligence required to maintain composure and act in the family's best interest. It's also worth noting that Tamar's contributions go beyond the financial or logistical. She has been a source of emotional support and mentorship within the Braxton household, often providing guidance and perspective when tensions flare. She has had to navigate complex family dynamics, including disputes, jealousy, and long-standing rivalries, with a level of grace that many critics fail to recognize. Her efforts to maintain harmony, sometimes quietly, sometimes vocally, reflected deep commitment to her family and a willingness to take on responsibilities that others might shy away from.
You've been stealing from me for the past couple years on my credit cards and help
But
me.
what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't? You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them
Oh,
a few times.
Who? What man?
You not get to leave.
Oh, bitch. Dirty, low-down ass bitch.
Oh, you're such a liar. Such a liar.
This context also helps explain why Tamar continues to be a lightning rod for public attention. People love drama, and Tamar's high-profile interactions, whether with family members or celebrity partners, provide endless material for discussion. But the narrative is rarely balanced. Men involved in these same stories are often excused or even celebrated, while Tamar is scrutinized, judged, and labeled unfairly. Despite this, she continues to rise above, supporting her family financially, emotionally, and publicly, all while managing the complex optics of celebrity life. So when you look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that Tamar's story is not one of recklessness or entitlement. It's a story of loyalty, resilience, and perseverance in the face of double standards and scrutiny. She has navigated a world that is often unforgiving, all while remaining committed to the people she loves and the life she has built for herself. In essence, Tamar is a case study in the realities of being a strong, ambitious woman in a family and professional environment that constantly tests boundaries. And this brings us back to the contrast with the celebrity men who are involved in similar narratives. The double standard is impossible to ignore. They get a free pass to navigate complicated relationships and public attention without facing the same intensity of critique. Tamar, however, has to manage not just her personal actions, but also the perception of those actions, constantly defending herself while simultaneously maintaining her family's cohesion. It's a precarious balancing act, yet she continues to do it with remarkable poise. In the end, what stands out is Tamar's consistency. She has always been Tamar, loyal, outspoken, protective, and committed. Whether it's hyping her sisters on stage, supporting family members in private, or navigating the complexities of high-profile relationships, she remains a stabilizing force. And while the internet will always have something to say, and the media will continue to spin stories in various directions, the reality is that Tamar has consistently acted with intention, responsibility, and loyalty. She's not perfect, but in a world quick to judge, she continues to demonstrate resilience and integrity. Interestingly, long before blogs, social media, and gossip sites blew everything up, there were whispers, some of you might even remember the Panty Report, that Tamar and Birdman had a history together. At the time, these reports flew under the radar, mostly discussed in niche celebrity circles and smaller blog communities. For those who weren't paying close attention, it might have seemed like random speculation, but insiders knew that Tamar and Birdman had some sort of connection long before the drama that would later dominate headlines. The Panty Report, notorious for digging into celebrity relationships with relentless curiosity, even hinted at tensions between the two, suggesting that their relationship wasn't always smooth sailing. According to those early whispers, Birdman eventually grew frustrated with Tamar, specifically with what some described as her sense of entitlement. Whether this was related to personal dynamics, lifestyle expectations, or just the natural friction that arises in high-profile celebrity relationships, it seemed clear that the connection between Tamar and Birdman had reached its limits. This, according to the same sources, is when Tamar eventually moved on and became involved with Vince. The timeline is important here because it contextualizes later drama and accusations, showing that Tamar's relationships were complex, evolving, and, in some cases, misrepresented by later media coverage. What makes this particularly interesting is how these early reports contrast with the way people today interpret Tamar's actions. Social media tends to condense complex histories into bite-sized narratives, often leaving out crucial details that explain behavior or motivations. For example, when fans see Tamar interacting with Birdman in more recent appearances, at Verzuz battles, public events, or even on stage, they often assume it's a new or inappropriate connection, ignoring the fact that their history goes back decades. Context matters, and without it, the narrative becomes skewed, fueling misinterpretation and, sometimes, outright character assassination. Another layer to consider is the way Tamar navigates public perception. She's not just a participant in her own life story, she's constantly negotiating the way the world sees her. Every appearance, every comment, every public display of support or loyalty is filtered through a lens of intense scrutiny. So when she engages with Birdman in public, even in ways that are supportive, professional, or simply friendly, people often interpret it as controversial or inappropriate, even if there's nothing untoward happening. This highlights a larger issue within celebrity culture. Women, especially women of color in high-profile families, are often judged far more harshly than their male counterparts for the same behavior. While men might get praise or a wink and nod for similar actions, Tamar is forced to defend, explain, and contextualize every move. It's also worth noting that Tamar's involvement in these dynamics isn't just about personal relationships. It's intertwined with her career, public image, and family role. The Braxton family has always been high-profile, with personal drama often spilling into the public sphere. Tamar has had to balance her loyalty to her family, her personal ambitions, and the realities of life in the public eye. Her relationships, including her early connection with Birdman and subsequent relationship with Vince, are inseparable from the pressures of this lifestyle. Each choice she makes, each public appearance, becomes fodder for commentary and analysis, sometimes blown out of proportion. And let's not forget the cultural context. Tamar operates in a world where celebrity culture, social media, and gossip have blurred the lines between private life and public spectacle. What might have been a private relationship decades ago is now archived, scrutinized, and dissected online indefinitely. Blogs, tweets, and viral clips ensure that past relationships are never truly in the past. They can be revived and weaponized at any moment. In Tamar's case, this has meant having to defend herself repeatedly, long after the original dynamics were resolved. Beyond the historical context, there's also the question of fairness and narrative control. Early reports, like those from the Pandy Report, framed Tamar in a certain way, often focusing on controversy rather than nuance. This has lasting effects. Fans, critics, and even family members sometimes interpret her actions through this lens, assuming entitlement or calculated motives rather than considering the full story. It's a reminder of how powerful early narratives can be in shaping perception, and how difficult it can be for someone like Tamar to reclaim or clarify her story decades later. At the same time, Tamar's ability to navigate this complex terrain demonstrates resilience, intelligence, and a certain savvy. Despite the early gossip, the public scrutiny, and the shifting narratives, she has managed to maintain a career, support her family, and remain active in the public sphere. This isn't just about surviving celebrity scrutiny. It's about strategically managing a legacy, maintaining personal agency, and ensuring that her voice is part of the conversation, even when others attempt to rewrite the story. It's also worth reflecting on the larger conversation about gender, celebrity, and reputation. Women in high-profile relationships are often judged more harshly than men, particularly when those relationships intersect with family dynamics, wealth, or fame. Tamar's story illustrates this clearly. While male figures may receive leniency or admiration for their involvement in complicated relationships, Tamar is often expected to navigate moral judgment, family expectations, and public perception all at once. Her experience serves as a case study in the double standards that exist in celebrity culture and society at large. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Tamar's history with Birdman and the early reporting on it isn't just gossip. It's part of a larger narrative about family, celebrity, and public perception. It's a reminder that context matters, that history shapes present-day interpretations, and that women in the public eye often carry the burden of scrutiny for choices that men might navigate without consequence. Understanding this helps fans and observers see the bigger picture. Tamar's actions, past and present, are part of a long, complex story, not isolated incidents worthy of judgment without context. And at the end of the day, the story isn't just about Tamar and Birdman. It's about how celebrity culture, media narratives, and social biases intersect to create public perceptions that are often incomplete or misleading. Tamar's experience teaches a valuable lesson. Always consider history, context, and perspective before jumping to conclusions. People are complex, relationships are layered, and the narratives constructed by gossip and media are rarely as straightforward as they seem. So what do you think of all of this? Does knowing the history between Tamar and Birdman change your perspective on the recent drama? How do you feel about the way early reports shaped public opinion? And what does this say about celebrity culture more broadly? Sound off in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all the twists and turns of this ongoing story. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, baddies.